Generic greetings and welcome back once again to Prison Architect, where in the previous episodes we managed to expand up north and then build 3 cell blocks in total, which has brought our total capacity up to 108, but that also includes the total of, is it 8 or 10? 8 protective custody, which we have down here, which for some reason is still in the Supermax colours rather than in the yellow for protective custody, but there you are. In this episode, what we want to do is do a bit of housekeeping. There's a couple of changes and tweaks that I have to make and incorporate some additions that people have suggested, and then we're going to continue on expanding around here. So first things first, we need to go over to our objects and then to a radiator because, as people have pointed out, it's still cold in the visitation oop north, so we'll sort that out. Like so, and does it run just straight across? It does run just straight across, which I think is there, and it is not, darn it. Close enough. Is that right, or is it just above it? No, that is perfectly fine. So that is now hopefully going to be warmed up. We also want to go over to our programs here. I'm going to check the schedule. I'm going to click reschedule on everything, and then check that, and we can see that we have shared parole, 1, 2, 3, 4 of that, which we are aware of. That's fine. Pharmacological for treatment of drug addiction is fine. Shared common room, shared chapel, and then behavioural therapy is all good. The only thing that's a bit dodgy is that we're running 2 kitchen safety and hygienes on that one there, and I guess that's because we do have 2 shared kitchens. We could change it to go down here. That is a possibility, but I think with the prisoners in here, that's actually not too much of a problem. The reason we've done that is because we found that sometimes they don't work on these areas here, but then anyway, at least it's all running. See, it says 10 AM to 12, and we've got 2 of those. But anyway, hopefully once we get some more prisoners here, it'll sort that out. Anyway, you can see we are going to get some intake. I'm going to speed up to max speed while people all turn up. And you notice the people that are turning up. The first ones are the parole hearing, and we're going to get that straight away there. And we're also got some intake. We're going to have a total of 5 normal security prisoners arrive as well. Just going to double check our deployment here, more specifically our patrol, because I think I missed one of them out, although I may have fixed it at the right at the back end of last episode while I wasn't recording. I think it was. I think one of these I did assign, but I didn't. Sorry, I assigned the walking route, but I didn't assign anyone to it. But it looks like that has been fixed, so that is totally fine. So as I said, in this episode, what we want to do is continue on with the expansion and build at least 2 of these cell blocks here, and that'll take us up to a fairly decent capacity. We'll probably also go ahead and then put in the workshop as well as the protective custody, and then we are sort of thinking about expanding to the left, which is a fairly monumental task, but we'll see how we get on there. So we're just going to speed up to max speed. You can see the people are arriving. They are now working in the workshop. Working in the yard. If we check our regime, we see we do still have that 2 hours of yard time there. Originally, when it was outside, it was a massive problem. I know there has been some discussion regarding the walkways and putting these indoors so stuff won't be thrown over. I don't think that's how it works. If this was indoors all the way around the outside, I think it can still be flung over. I think it's just if it's within 10 of the edge. I'm fairly sure that is the case, but I mean I could be wrong about that one. We might try it out. Anyway, in terms of informants, we do have a strong, stoical, and extremely quick, and 2 unknown traits. What I'll do is I'm going to activate 2 of our informants because this is again something that people suggested. If we activate that straight away, what will happen is we'll get them. We'll basically start talking to people. We can see who's been targeted and also what traits. We have a strong trait there and stoical and skilled fighter. So we found out some more traits there and also what stuff's been stashed. Now that's not something I'm really concerned about, whether it be flung over the wall or whatever. We know that's going to happen. It's mainly just those traits. So we know that these traits are not. They're not they're not a danger to themselves, shall we say, by having like snitch or instigator. And just quickly having a cursory look around, not seeing anything else that should really be of a big issue. You can see the suspicion has gone up a little bit, but as long as it doesn't go to max, we won't turn them into an actual snitch trait. So there we are. Anyway, so we are cracking on. You can see we're getting some consulting fees and such for finding things. We will do a shakedown later on, but that will be a later on problem. And now what we're going to do is go over to our walls, over to the white wall, and then once again we are going to start building this. I know there's been a couple of that's a thing. People ask why we are doing it this way, and I'll reiterate the reason why we're placing in the outside bit first and then the jail door is if you just place the standard foundation, like the building brick or building concrete, it does just place the wall as that, and if we don't do this, it will override it, so that's why. I think, is it School Simulator, Academia School Simulator, which I have featured on the channel, but not in any sort of recent times. The way that does it is you place the wall first and then you place the internals. I should get back to that game at some point. It's installed. It's one of those things that I keep an eye on, but haven't got round to, so I shall have to rectify that at some point. Anyway, I digress. In terms of people working in the workshop, you can see this is now completed and people are working there. I do want to start to place some flooring, and I think we should really make a ruling that before we expand to the left, we should probably go ahead and place some flooring in. At this stage, I'm not going to do it. I'm focusing on these two first, and then maybe down there. We also have the 2 rooms here, which currently have no purpose, but I don't really know what they could be. I'm not really too bothered about being another chapel. I don't think we have the need for that, but I don't really know what else we could set it to. Anyway, as you can see, we now have these done. It looks like, for whatever reason, Gareth Luther was very interested in going around here. So we're going to search the prisoner there to see if they have anything on them. And while we're doing that, we are going to go to building brick, and then we'll place that in there. And then we'll place the other one on the left-hand side as well. Actually, it does require an entrance, but if we do that, it should be perfectly acceptable. Looks like we have found something on there. Locked down for now 2 hours. We did change a lot of the punishments, so it was lockdown rather than solitary, which may end up altering our grading. Current grading, 21% reoffending rate, punishment 6, reform 4, security 1, health -2. So yeah, I think there's a lot of things that at the moment it's a case of we don't have enough solitary. I would like to hand out those punishments more so we get that up. Also, the main problem is the health, and when you get people like that who are they've got drugs found on them and things being flung over the wall and overdoses and stuff, that is becoming... It's actually better than it's ever been, but then that's not really saying much, because it is still quite bad. Either way, let's go to our quick build and then cloning. We're going to clone the cell block just to the right here. However, that will cost... Oh, we just have enough money for that, so that is perfectly fine. So we'll set that one on the go. We will do a shakedown tonight as well, because we haven't done one in a little while. We can see we've got some overdoses there, but because of the patrols in each of the cell blocks, then that's okay. I was just about to see if that guy can be... as well, see if they can be, or if they want to be, confidential informant, but they do not. So there we are. Current free time, it's just about to hit some night time as well, and we can do a shakedown. So we'll crack on with that. 614 places rather to search, and obviously we're going to find a lot of booze, a lot of telephones, drugs. That's generally the things you find, and cigarettes. Oh yes, I know someone asked about the rope. I think it was in the escape episode I mentioned that I want to get some rope so I can dig, and there was sort of questions on that, like why would you want rope to dig? It's because the ropes, for whatever reason, in the escape mode classed as a digging implement, you can dig with them. I think it's just assigned to... Oh, we found a tunnel, which is in the new cell block. So it goes from the top one here in Andrew Creevy, and they go, "Hi Mom, sentenced to 14 years for trafficking." Looks like they've dug down and joined up with Andrew Shopland, double Andrew. It's the Andrews, the Andes, and you can see they've dug down there. Name that reference. Let's just prioritize the removal of that, just because we can. Oh, it looks like they were digging to the left, and then they're focused on going up through the shower block. See, that's where all of the best tunnels start. You know, Great Escape, getting the shower block, in the drains. Yep, there you go. Still don't know if it's implemented. I don't think it is. Where if you dig through the actual pipework, you gain a speed advantage. I don't think you do. Looks like there's been some problem over here. Is that... oh, it's Ed Gaskin. Ed Gaskin, prisoner number 11894733. Looks like they were kicking off. Extremely volatile. Yeah, obviously we've searched things and they've been found out. Yeah, they're currently unconscious. Looks like they are... Strangely, they're actually being escorted to... They're being escorted to the infirmary by the doctor. I can't really remember when the last time I saw that. Normally the doctor will go to them and heal them, or the guards will take them to the infirmary. It's not normally it's not normally a doctor that takes them to the bed and then they get healed. That's interesting. Anyway, it's still sleep time, but in a couple of seconds it's going to go back to shower time. There we go. You can see cash flow is still good. We have this cell block pretty much up and running now. The only thing we don't have is the hot water pipe, which I will go ahead and put in, but they have to finish off the shower first, and I don't know, no, that is not the case yet, so we can't do that just yet. We will wait a little while until that's been placed, and you can see there when I'm trying to build over it, we've got this thing where we can't build. I must confess, the latest update, it has added some new stuff, but It also has put some weird things in like that. Like, why can't, when you're building with the power line, why can't you build over, like, the shower head now? I don't know why that is the case. Why is protective custody in red rather than in the proper protective custody colours of yellow? Why have they changed it so when we're looking at, for example, this, they've changed it just so it's just much worse. I just think much worse. Staff only. That's staff only. That's not staff only. It's not exactly high contrast. Interesting decisions. I don't know why. All fixable and all, you know, you can always live with them. Certainly not game breaking. And there's 2 sets of buses come along, and also some fighting. Oh, Jan Mulby, prison number 1184938. Looks like they've tried to blitz out from the shop. That's interesting. Escape attempt and attack staff. They have tried to escape. Interesting. Going to go to informants. We can see we do have some informants here. Some people there. Extremely tough and a trait unknown. I'm going to once again activate our confidential informants. See if we can find out what that trait is. You see they're currently en route. Still en route. Still en route. We don't have any guards because they're escorting them to their cells. I guess that's the issue that we'll have. That is the issue that we'll have. Anyway, now that this is pretty much up and running, we are going to focus on the hot water pipe that will run down, and still haven't done that. That has actually moved from slightly annoying to getting critical, because this place is really cold now. So they need to get that thing done sooner rather than later. Those are now active. Our confidential informants. We can see stuff has been ordered and stuff to be flung in. Don't see any question mark traits anymore, and don't see any traits like well, like that where they get targeted. So I'll deactivate them, let them crack on, do their own thing. So we are focusing up here. I will make sure that door is locked open so they can crack on and get that done sooner rather than later. Once that's in, we will run our hot water pipe, which will come down to there. We will then also run the electrical cables to the same place, and we will focus once again on that to get that done as a priority. The rest of the plumbing is, well, it's basically up to them when they want to do it. I'm not really too bothered when they install it. I will install obviously all of the rest of it for the toilets, but it's mainly the heating. We have had issues and instances in the past where we think, oh, it's only a little bit chilly, and then lo and behold, people go there and before you know it, dead. Especially when it comes to like lockdown and stuff. But there you go. I'm putting in that water pipe. We have focused on that water pipe, so it should be getting built sooner rather than later. Although, as you can see there, Duncan Pratt there, 13 years for false imprisonment. If we go to the, where is it? Where was it? Oh, I just moused it over it. They have an exposure trait. See that exposure trait, and it's in green, which means it's getting, it's not getting resolved. Actually, I thought green was resolved. No, it's not a positive effect anyway. Still waiting for that to be done. Why is that not done? Because I haven't ran it all the way along yet. That's why. We'll run it along to the edge there. Focus on that. Shouldn't take too long for that to be built. We would hope. It is currently heat time anyway, so they're going to go around here to get warm. Let's double check all that actually. Intelligence, logistics, temperature. Yeah, everything's toasty warm. Yeah, that's fine. Just this building. And there we go, that's now been turned on, and you can see that slowly that temperature is going to go up. Excellent. So let's double check our grading once again. Punishment up 7, reform 4, security 1, health -2. We have 117 prisoners paroled early with 11% reoffending chance. In terms of bureaucracy, we've got most things unlocked. The only thing we haven't got is legal, which I think I will get now. Also, guard towers and taser rollout. Guard towers we are not bothering with. Obviously, we have the guard pavilion here, but it's really not necessary. Building this compound was, in all honesty, I think a nice design. Like, handover from the last episode, where last series rather, where we wanted to do that sort of thing where we had this central compound, but this is just a much more scaled up. It was just a different way of doing it, but with the exposure stuff and all the buildings being indoors, there's no point in putting things on the outside, but certainly interesting to do. We do have someone in solitary there. Let me just double check, and no, they're not too keen on becoming a confidential informant, so that is fine. We will go back over to quick build and we will start cloning this extra room here. We have most of the pipe work along anyway, so as soon as it's built we should be able to sort that out fairly quickly. Now that we have this building, by the way, we should also go to deployment and get that sorted. Obviously that means signing another person in here, which is still not ideal because of the size of it. Actually, that's not even in the as far as it should be. It should be that far and then signed up to that. And that, oh, hang on, does that say that is wrong? Very easy to do that. I say that says one only. No. There we go. We want it so it's set to all the time. It's actually when they go from the work/free time over to free time, they tend to then get the stuff flung in and then you get a couple of overdoses. So, yeah. In terms of things that are unfinished in the facility, obviously flooring, that is the main standout one. But I think like the armory here, we haven't expanded upon that, but we don't need to because we don't plan on adding more on that one. We should put some more stuff in the laundry probably. With the size it is though, it seems to be working okay. If we check the needs, we can see that there is a fairly high clothing need, so I'm going to keep an eye on that one. There's some more people just turned up, so we can see we have a fearless prisoner, but nothing else that we can see that could be dangerous there. But yeah, we might have to add some more laundry machines. What I'll do is probably move that CCTV monitor to this edge here, and then, oh, it looks like we've got some stuff. Where's that violence? Where is it? Ah, it looks like... Ah, it's Ed Gaskin again. Looks like Gaskin is very much wanting to, well, get hit over the head with a club repeatedly because, well, they tend to do that quite often. Let me just lock open that door as per the other stuff, and I'll max speed that out while we'll go ahead and sort the rest of it. Yes, I digress. So what I was saying about the other stuff. Yeah, finishing stuff off flooring, probably some more stuff in the... yeah, almost certainly some more stuff in this room here because, well, this is our staff room and there's not much in there. You see they are using the arcade cabinet. They are sitting on the chairs and the sofas and things like that. So that's all working fine. We have these two buildings here which we need to complete, and then finally whatever goes on the right hand side. Danger level is going up and its prisoners having serious complaints. We are going to check that and we can see that there is some critical food needs and the clothing need is still there, but it also is going up. And I'm wondering why. Let me just double check. We're going to go over to jobs, and you can see that yes, people are assigned to that job, and it looks like they're trying to go in there, is it? It can't be. That'll be the cleaning cupboard. Anyway, before anything else, before I forget, this is going to come across to these here. That's going to be our water pipe. Hot water pipe, actually. And standard water pipe, which goes over there like so. Okay, that's now fine. So that should hopefully warm that up. I'm not going to prioritize it because that's the only thing that is currently getting built. However, you can see there's loads of stacks of prisoner uniforms there. But why is there a high... 88 prisoners desperately want this need fulfilled. Right. We have a problem with that then. And I think it is a... I think it's a problem with the laundry baskets. There's one. I found one. This is obviously filthy in there, isn't it? Absolutely filthy. I'm trying to find the laundry baskets, but I'm only seeing one. I'm not saying that there is only one in the wild. A wild laundry basket, but that's the only one I'm seeing. And there's 1, 2, 3 in there. I'm sure I had more than that. Okay. I'm going to dismantle that CCTV camera. I'm going to add 2 more laundry machines. I'm going to add a table in there. I know people say you don't need tables, but I tend to put them in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8 more laundry baskets. And then the CCTV back up. So, water pipe will go across, like so. We have some overdoses there. Looks like they've actually already been taken care of, and I think that guy's still feeling something, because it's 5 o'clock in the morning, they're just on the edge of the bed, wide-eyed, just staring at a wall. That's some good stuff, apparently. Let's go over to our connections here, and we're going to go to CCTV monitor and then connect that up there, like so. I'd actually click on tidy wires there. I don't know if I've shown you tidy wires. It's something that was introduced, I think, just after the ad of the wires, and the explanation was that they looked at a way to try and tidy the wires up, then thought, actually, let's make it a mini game, so you can actually add like these points, and you can remove them, and like basically you can add these like little markers, and you can sort of snap the wires to it, so you can say go over there, like add like over to there, and then you move that along. And yeah, I've played with it once before, but it's something I don't really care for. We can read it good enough anyway, so it's fine. Anyway, as you can see, we have one of the janitors here currently focusing on ironing as fast as they can. These are actually a small ironing board. I don't see any reason at all now to put in the larger ironing boards if they have the exact same effect. Like, if one just takes up more room, then what's the point? There is literally no reason I can see to get the bigger one. So, we now have, as far as I can tell, all of this one done at the top. We also have the need for an electrical cable, because that is generally what we do. We're going to go over to the patrols. I was going to say parole there. And then we'll add the patrol routes in, then assign one guard to that. And I've naturally moved the deployment scheduler back to anytime, so that should hopefully now work. Speaking of work, we can see that we have assigned jobs to all of these, which is perfectly fine, and we now have received some more prisoners, which we can see we have Stokel Expert Fighter and a face in game. Rupert Wood, prisoner number 051180. No previous convictions, was caught literally red-handed by standing over the body of Darren Brown's former manager. Remains evident he didn't do it, but can't account for his whereabouts at the time. Trafficking, kidnapping, and perjury. There you go. So, we have 15 prisoners up for parole, so we're running loads of paroles. 1 prisoner due for release soon. With the additional prisoners now, we are getting a total of 4,912 generic units of currency per day. In terms of grants, we don't have a bank loan, we only have carpentry apprenticeship and the cell block D. Speaking of the carpentry apprenticeship, I think we removed that. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, 6 finished, 0% passed. No one is interested in doing it, so what's the point? Spiritual guidance is being ran, as you can see there. I've just paused it so we can check it out. 22 in the queue, 795 finished. Okay, that's a big turn up, and 288 have passed, which is a 36% pass rate. So it can be ran multiple times, obviously, because we only have, right now, which is the highest capacity we've ever been, 128 maximum prisoners. So we've never had that many prisoners released. 188 prisoners, so yeah, that is obviously multiple times that they've run that. Today's beverage is a nice cup of chamomile tea. We've got a pharmacological treatment to drug addiction, which we can set going on there, and I think it's probably worth me doing that. More of that, the better. Kitchen safety and hygiene doesn't say that anyone's interested, but I'm going to keep it running for the time being because we've just received some more prisoners, so hopefully they'll get used to how it is around here and then start working. Speaking of work as well, this area here, we were originally going to go and add another workshop. Now, people have suggested that we don't do that, and instead we have forestry. Good idea. However, I think because we're expanding to the left, and this whole area here is going to be forestry on either side, I don't think it's strictly necessary. But I'm not ruling it out. We'll just see how we get on. Right, so we probably want to add some of the extra things that I mentioned in the staff room, because, quite frankly, it's about time that we probably add some more in anyway. What else can we have in here? So, it's Edge large TV. Could place a TV in there. Standard TVs. Sofas, sofa wide. Let's put some small sofas in like that. And how else do we want to have this? Got some drinks machines. Got radiators. I've actually got 3 radiators in. I don't think we need that many. doesn't want pool tables. Some saying dog crate for a second there. I think that's it. It actually doesn't even say TVs, if you notice. It says large TV, but it doesn't say standard TV. So I guess we could place a large TV. It would have to go pretty much in the centre there. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. I think it's actually increased in size to go further around, but we're not going to do that. Looks like there was some fighting as well. And once again, Ed Gaskin, who, for the 3rd time this episode, really wanted to get the head stoved in. So, yeah. And they're taking the... It shows you just now that this actually works. This is our preferred route for staff members. And they are actually taking all of the stuff up and around there. Even though it would be quicker to go straight ahead, but they are focusing on that because they're going right up and then round and down. But anyway, so obviously we do have a fair amount of prisoners. We have 121, but in terms of guards, we've got a total of 56. Out of that, 40 are regular guards, 16 dog handlers, no armed guards. We have 25 staff with serious complaints. We are going to check that out now. So we'll go to our needs and then staff needs. And we have some critical food needs because I'm guessing that, yeah, it hasn't been delivered just yet. But it's just produce being sorted there. In terms of staff, we have 8 cooks and only 3 doctors. I'm going to assign another doctor there. And also probably want to do something similar with the cooks. 1 more cook in there and then 1 down there just to take the edge off when there's some problems. In terms of janitors, 2 more, and we probably don't need another gardener just yet, so I'm not going to bother. Obviously that is going to reduce our daily cash flow, but I think we can afford it. In terms of guards, we'll add 1, 2, 3, 4 more guards, and then 2 more dog handlers, and that should do us. That's probably going to take about $1,000 off our daily cash flow, but I think it's worth it, because now that we are here, I wonder if Gaskin, does he want to be... No, really doesn't have no interest in being a confidential informant. Just checking. Mikey as well. No. Hang on, was that... What did that say? Michael Myers. Ah. Anyway. Down here, we also have Mr. Christopher Robinson. No confidential informant. Interest there. Let's go for a full shakedown now because we haven't done one in about 30 seconds. No, it's actually been a couple of nights since we've done that. And I expect tunnels, obviously with the extra guards, it should be searched relatively quick here. Once we've done that, we have to then think about where we're going to expand to. We want to expand to the left, but I want to put the flooring in. I think it is imperative that we get that put in. And then we'll think about these buildings here. What I may do is add this building and these 2 here. Actually, no, I'm not going to build this building. This building is protective custody. No point at this stage. This one is the workshop, and again, not much point at this stage. But once we get some, once we get the forestry put in, and then the extra bit on the left, which the extra bit on the left is, there's always been some discussion about what that could be, and I think we'll probably end up having it as probably a death row, but I very much doubt we can get it. If we go to our prisoner intake, Supermax is there, but we don't have death row because we don't have a lawyer. Well, now we do have a lawyer, and we also have an office, which means that we can go for death row for 10 grand. Whether or not we'll be able to get them is a different matter. There's an instigator. Yeah, I don't know whether or not we'll be able to get them, because normally you need to be receiving high-risk prisoners and such. There's a potential CI finally, Alex Ward. Create that informant job done. And then nothing down the bottom there. Okay. In terms of the laundry, loads of people working in the laundry now. Ironing, putting them in the laundry machines, taking the baskets out. I think it was a basket problem. Don't know. There's the baskets there, look, just left. And now being pushed back. That's interesting. mean, the need is being fulfilled. But that's our shakedown over with. Lockdown, rather. And the baskets are going out again. And now that's getting delivered. Is it a scheduling problem? I think it is. I think it is. Because we have the 4 hours of free/work, 2 hours of lockup, and then free/work again, it pretty much stops everything dead. And they have to stop what they're doing. Even if they're all down here, then have to go back to their cells. What I'm going to do is change it to work/free time in the centre there. So a total of 10 hours, I think, in one go. Followed by lockup just before they eat. Lockup in between it still works, and we still get the effect of that. But I think because it takes them probably 2 hours to go in game, 2 hours to go from there over to here. By the time they're there, and because it goes to, say for example, you finish your lockdown, takes them a little bit of time to get to their job, to the laundry. They have to pick up the stuff, put it in the basket, that takes some time. Say they have to push it all the way down here, that takes even more time. By the time they get there, there's their 4 hours, boom, if you have to go and finish or do whatever. So having that full 8 hours should hopefully work. It might be a problem when it comes to some other needs, but I can't imagine why though, so we'll just keep a close eye on it. Either way, I think we will leave it there. Not a bad expansion. 2 extra... Ooh, what a surprise. Ed Gaskin again. Ed loves just kicking off. What a surprise. He's extremely volatile. Yeah, what I'm thinking is next episode, flooring, bare minimum. I'm not expecting to get all of the flooring put in, but you never know. And I need to make a decision on what's going to be over here. We could do a common room, but I think the common rooms that we have, plus the the common room we have, plus over here is pretty much done. Door control system's fine. They're connected fine. The CCTV is fine. Yeah, I think we'll add these, and I don't know what other room to put in. Haven't yet decided. I don't think there is another room for us to really go for. Just looking through there, most of them have got at least a number on there. Dormitory, we're not having. Holding cell. I mean, yeah, technically we could build a holding cell. Forestry, we're not having indoors. That's arboretum. So no, I'm not doing that. I don't know what to put over there. I will have a think. Either way, flooring next episode, and we'll have a discussion about expansion and maybe even expand. That wouldn't be a bad idea. What we could do, sell some of our shares, get the 40 grand, expand to the left, and start placing flooring while at the same time planning. I think that's probably what we'll do. That's almost certainly what we'll do. Let's go remove tunnels, because I know there's some tunnels there that I didn't remove. Fixed. Right, we will sort that out next episode. As always, hope you have enjoyed the video and the series thus far. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.